Happy Sunday to all of our CCP families. Okay, it's time for our weekly address, so I'm going to go expeditiously so I can get you back on the rest of your Sunday. Parents and staff, we're excited again for this time of the year. So much going on around here at CCP. On Friday, an advanced copy of the newsletter went home with our families. But guess what? I caught a mistake that has been corrected in the electronic version that all of our families will receive tomorrow. So I just want to start off by saying, parents, get ready because this coming week is the last full week that we will have before we go on fall break. Fall break begins Monday, October 9th through Friday, October 13th. We will not have school. I will be here, but our scholars will not be. Administration will be here, but our scholars will not be here. It's going to give me a chance to catch up on all of the work that I can't get done during the week because I'm always out and about in classes. I'm going to catch up on some trainings, etc. So enjoy the week off, but I don't want it to be a week off cognitively for our scholars. I want to make sure that our scholars are still continuing to engage in academic work. Okay, so let me give my social emotional speech to families, parents. I am the principal of not just one group of students. I am the principal of all students. And at the beginning of the school year, I sung my little song, Dr. Scott loves all his little children, red and yellow, black and white, you are precious in my sight. I sing that to our kids because I am the principal to all children, red, yellow, black, and white, students with disabilities, physically, cognitively, and students that are different. And I say that because I have to say something to all of our families. I will not tolerate any students ridiculing, harassing, making fun of, teasing students with disabilities, whether they be physical disabilities, whether they be cognitive disabilities. And how about I'm going to add something? Our students that are different, whether they be feminine or masculine, they are still Dr. Scott's children. And let me say this to all of our families. If there is a group of students or a single student that continually harasses another student based upon the way they look, the way they act, their disability, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to give one warning and I'm going to have a meeting with the parent and I'm going to call you and I'm going to let you know what our anti bullying and anti harassment policy is. After that, I am going to exact strategic but concise and precise discipline because I want this to be a school where there's a value and a love for everybody, no matter their race, color, creed, disability, perceived sexual orientation. I am the principal of every scholar, and I love every scholar and their families in this school. So that's you've hurt my heart. And I will not be relenting when I have to exact discipline because we have a few students. I want to say about five who continually harass some of our disabled students and also some of our students who are different. And I'm just going to let you hear my heart where I am with that. So I'm going to protect all children. Of course, I went over with you about our harvest versus Halloween. We will be dressing in positive characters. I put in the newsletter on Friday, but it's really on Tuesday, October 31st. Let me shout out. So, Dr. Scott is really big on learning and advocacy for our students' literacy. I was covering, yes, Dr. Scott still teaches. I was covering the kindergarten class and I was going over writing with them. I was doing math with them. And I was so overwhelmed with joy by Jonathan Weaver in kindergarten, who's already on track to read on or above grade level. So, Jonathan Weaver's parents, I celebrate you for what you're doing with Jonathan at home. Keep it up. Also, we will continue with our restart readiness testing this week. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be doing math. That means from 9:15 to 11:15, we will be testing all over the building. We will be in testing mode. After 9:15, there will be no unified art specials, but all of our specials teachers will be pushing in to support testing. In this, I'm going to go over what's in the bulletin, but before I do that, I'm going to do the drawing this week for the $50 gas card that Dr. Scott is funding out of his own pocket for the students or the family that was here every day this week on time. That means you weren't tardy and you were here every day on time. But let me say this to our families. Let me tell you how much you all are teaching me and how much I love you. Matter of fact, scratch that. I'm they're allowed to be tardy. They just have to be present. Because what I found out, a lot of our families love this school so much that they travel beyond the distance to come here. And at first, I was feeling some type of way with the number of tardies we have. But one thing that I learned that our parents are so committed to this school that they come from far away to bring them. And so for that, I'm not holding tardies against anyone. For I just want you here, present every day on time. And one thing I'm gonna have to say to our families, Dr. Scott honors how hard you work. We have parents who work third shift, get off work, bring their kids to school. Several of you do that. And then you have some parents who you have to work, and it's imperative that you work second shift and you have to pick your kids up early. Hey, I get it. I get it. And you are teaching me so much. And so, yes, the $50 gas card drawing will be this week for 100% attendance. And don't worry about tardies. I'm scratching that from the criteria. And so I'm gonna send a shout out to our healthy parents. So, having read a lot of research on diet and healthy choices and cognitive development, our parents have been telling your kids, show Dr. Scott your lunch, show him that it's a healthy lunch. I so appreciate it. Yes, I do read labels with the students so they know exactly what's in their bodies to eat. And many of our scholars don't know that a lot of the foods that we eat here in America are banned in other countries. And so I always want our kids to be knowledgeable about what we're putting in our bodies. That's why for harvest and our harvest celebration, no soda, no high fructose corn syrup, no foods with red, yellow, or blue dyes. They are toxic to young bodies and they can affect cognitive function. All right, in our school newsletter that is going to come electronically to all of our families that went home on Friday, we have a recap of the Father's Walk. We have pictures. We also have a recap from our trick or treat. Oh, before I forget, this week is Spirit Week. What does that mean, Dr. Scott? Our kids don't have to be in school uniform for Spirit Week. They can express themselves, but let me make a caveat. No sandals, no Crocs, no flip flops, and no Heelys. Heelys are the shoes with wheels on the bottom. It would be a nightmare for Dr. Scott if one of our kids fell down the steps because they had the heels or the wheels on their shoes. Heelys are a no no. If they come to school in Heelys, I'm going to have you bring them extra shoes. So for Monday, tomorrow, it's Socktober Day. I just want you to rock your socks. You know, if you have to pull up your legs, if you have to roll up your jeans, rock your wacky, crazy, or unique socks. On Tuesday, it's Twin Day. That means find somebody to dress alike and you can express yourself that way. Wacky Wednesday, I'll let you be wacky. Just come to school in safe and appropriate clothing that are appropriate for school, but they can show your character. This is one that Dr. Scott is excited about, Throwback Thursday, because I'm going back to the 90s and I'm going to show y'all how it's really done in the 90s. So, Throwback Thursdays, the scholars can dress in 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s apparel, showing your throwback. And then, of course, Friday is important for me because we are a college preparatory school, right? And so if we're a college preparatory school, that means it's college day. Preferably, if you're like me, an HBCU, a historically black college and university, because over 100 years ago, people that looked like me were not allowed to attend mainstream universities. So there were only universities that accepted black and brown people to be college educated. And guess what? I am a graduate of an HBCU, and I'm proud of it, Central State University, Wilberforce, Ohio. And of course, we have a running record of our college wow. And before I leave you, I'll talk about what our college wow. Parents, I put data in our newsletter read the data about where we are as a school with regard to reading and math. And of course, I celebrated in this newsletter fourth graders who show caring characters in our school community. And so make sure you read the newsletter. This is most important to me. Kindergarten through third grade parents. As you can see from the iReady data, we have about 80% of our school who are reading at least a grade, maybe two grades below reading level. So in every bulletin, I'm going to put sight words. There's sight words for our older kids, these right here, and there's sight words for our younger kids, K1, K2. But if your third or fourth grader is extremely low, then they should be doing these words too. Parents, rip these pages out of the bulletin or the newsletter, post them on the refrigerator, go over sight words every night. And I want students to know them with automaticity. I want them to know it within 3 seconds of seeing the word. No, not sounding out. We're going to teach them word attack strategies, but these high frequency sight words, they should know them just by looking at them. And so that's very important for us to close the reading achievement gap. And of course, you have our lunch menus in the school newsletter. So we're excited about what's going on here at Cleveland College Preparatory. And before I leave you, I just want to say to you, hey, listen, do you know, or do you enjoy having a school where your principal loves and cares for children, has a high expectation for academics and behavior? And do you know somebody who needs a school like CCP, who values high level learning? It's not too late to enroll. Go to our website, clevelandcollegeprep.org. Click on fill out an application, and we will be happy to welcome you with open arms. We have several new students that started. I don't know all of their names just yet, but I do know Aaliyah in kindergarten because I was in her class teaching. So I want to say to all of our new scholars, we love you, we care about you, and we're so glad you came to CCP, and welcome home. Before I leave you today, our college word of the week is polyglot. Polyglot. Now, this is an interesting word because it has a prefix and it has a root word. Poly means many, glot means languages. A polyglot is a noun. The part of speech is a noun, and it's a person who speaks three or more languages fluently. Dr. Scott would be a polyglot if he knew Swahili, Hebrew, Arabic, and English, but I'm not. And if you speak in tongues, that don't count. If you know, then you know what I just said. Speaking in tongues don't count as a polyglot. A polyglot is someone who knows three or more languages and speaks them fluently. Please make sure you use our college preparatory or college words of the week in your daily vernacular. And in the newsletter is a running record of all of our college wows, because guess what? At the end of the quarter, Dr. Scott is creating an exam of our college words of the week, and you will be able to get ELA credit for being successful in the exams. All right, Dr. Scott loves you. I care about you. I want the best for our community. Parents, I thank you so much for entrusting us to educate your scholar, because guess what? It is our privilege and our honor. It will be bigger, better, brighter, yes, and the best is yet to come. We celebrate Spirit Week starting tomorrow. See you in school on time. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye bye.